and they having their own issues right now with Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh. Rodgers called out Robert Saleh for accountability after Robert Saleh came out with some interesting comments. So what we want to do right now is talk about the Jets. Now, who is most to blame for the Jets' struggles right now? And Will, once again, the mic is yours. And Zay, you can go ahead.
Yeah. When we're talking about the Jets right now, everything falls on the head coach right now and this coaching staff, okay? Aaron Rodgers, say what you want about him. He's coming back. I'm not trying to make excuses here, but he's coming back from an Achilles injuries, as we all know, okay? Watching him play behind that offensive line on Sunday in the rain was not fun. Now, of course, Morgan Moses being out didn't help out much, but ultimately, when you're going up against a top 10 defense like that, and you had 10 days to prepare against this Denver Broncos team, the Jets were on paper, better than them with everything going on before the game. But when you look at it, the way how the weather played itself out, it being a trap game, you just had a feeling that it was going to be a very close game. Now, having said that right now, who's to blame? Like I said, this is on the coaching staff, and you got to have these guys prepared. And by the way, how can you have 13 penalties, 5 of which are false starts? This cannot happen, especially with the amount of veterans that are here on this team. This should not be. So ultimately, we could go out and, by the way, I tweeted out there before too with some of these things. The run defense, it's got to be better at that point in time as well. This is going on 3 of the past 4 weeks: San Francisco, Tennessee, and now with Denver. The New England game, they were flat out dominant. The Jets were, but those 3 games that I just mentioned, I think they gave up over 100 yards rushing, and for them, it's not good when you're seeing chunks like 10, 12 yards per attempt happening on running plays. It doesn't help out. This is all on the coaching staff here.
Zay, the mic is yours.
I want to talk about the skill positions, the receivers, the tight ends, and things of that nature. The attention to detail is lacking here in terms of their route running. There's a couple plays where Garrett Wilson just overran a play or overran a route where the ball was supposed to go at him, and it looks like Aaron Rodgers is underthrowing these guys. It looks like the ball's not getting to him, like he doesn't have enough gusto in a throw. Meanwhile, it's just the receiver not getting the attention to detail down packed on what the route they have to run. And before, they used to get away with it with Zach Wilson at quarterback because he was so inaccurate. You make overthrows, you'll throw the ball far, he'll do a lot of these different things, and no one cared. Everyone said, "Oh, Zach Wilson's a problem. He's the issue." These same throws are happening with the current Jets with Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not gonna sit here and blame Rodgers for these throws because he's usually pinpoint accurate where the ball needs to go and where it needs to get to. These receivers lack attention to detail, especially Garrett Wilson. His separation numbers are terrible. Last year, he was top 5 in the league in terms of separation. This year, he's ranked with Alan Lazard at 71, 72. The man's not creating separation on anybody. And we're supposed to sit here and people calling him a top 10 receiver in the NFL when he's not showing me that. He's not doing what he was doing last year. He's not even showing us even a glimpse of his skill set. And he wants to sit there and call out Nathaniel Hackett and then the other Town Downing, all these guys talking about, the playbook lacks creativity. No, you lack availability to get open. You lack the ability to get Rodgers an open target. So he's out here throwing the ball into damn tight coverage every time. You over here sliding left and right, missing a damn ball. It's getting ridiculous. These players have no accountability whatsoever, but they want to point the blame and finger at everybody else on the coaching staff. And don't get me wrong, that false starts are terrible. The lack of preparation is absolutely horrible. The coaching staff needs to be better, but these players have to go out there and play it 100% hardest. These guys are not playing. They're not showing the attention to detail on a night in, night out basis, a week in, week out basis, and we're seeing it. I don't know what the hell they're doing in practice. I don't know what they're doing in the meetings. I don't know what they're doing, but clearly they are not giving Rodgers the opportunity to thrive on that football field. And it's time to grow up. It's time to sit there and point the blame at yourself. Like, I need to do better. What can I do better? Especially Breece Hall. He couldn't do anything last week. It was atrocious when Braylon Allen was looking like the better running back. At the point where I was saying play Braylon Allen and bench Breece because that's what it looked like last week. It was terrible. So I just think a lot of guys need to take accountability. They have to wake up from this dream that because Rodgers is there, he's gonna fix all these problems. No, it takes 11 guys on the football field to make touchdowns happen. Not just Rodgers doing a million different audibles at the line and hoping somebody gets open.
Yeah, I would like to respond to both of you guys. I think for me, this question is tough. I think you could go a lot of ways there. I think this is a collaborative effort to why the Jets look so mediocre right now. And I think for me, like, it reminds me of the Baker Mayfield and Tom Brady situation that's going on currently, where Baker Mayfield talked about how Tom Brady stressed out the players. But Tom Brady stressed out the players because Tom Brady is a winner. Tampa Bay was not known for winning. You had Mike Evans out here putting up numbers, but to no avail. Wasn't winning in the playoffs. So he brought a level of expectation, and not only from him, but he held his players accountable. And there was expectations that the team had that they needed to meet, especially with Tom Brady being on the team. And that's what happens when you make a move for a guy like A-Rod. Now, I know he hasn't won on the level of Tom Brady with multiple chips, but he won at the highest levels before. And he won an MVP too, back to back. Okay, so now there's a level of expectations. But not only do the media and the fans embrace those expectations, but the players, the coaching staff has to as well. And the fact of the matter is, the Jets surrounding parts around Rodgers is not meeting those expectations right now. Now, in regards to the game on Sunday, before I come back to the Jets, I want to stop and give credit to Vance Joseph, the DC of the Broncos, because his game plan, which was to blitz Aaron Rodgers, paid dividends. I believe they hit him, or they blitzed him 22 times, 5 sacks, and they forced the guy coming off an Achilles injury, 40 years old, to get out and move. And Aaron Rodgers wasn't able to do so effectively. Now, when you look at the Broncos defense and what they've been doing the last couple of weeks, okay, we have to give this man credit. They stopped that Bucks potent offense last week that's putting up all these numbers. They shut it down last week, and they shut this down that had a little bit momentum after that Patriots game victory. Okay, they shut the Jets down as well. We got to give credit where credit is due. This was the same guy that got 70 dropped on his head last year. Okay, I still remember that, but I don't remember that as much as I do now because he's playing good and he's coaching good. Excuse me, he's coaching good and the players are playing good. All right, now back to the Jets. Breece Hall, where are you now? Now, I understand there's a lot of issues beyond Breece Hall. The line got to block properly to open up the gaps for Breece Hall. But we have to remember that Breece Hall is the engine that makes this offense hum. If he's not going off and electrifying with those runs that we know he's capable of, with those home run runs, then the passing game will not be able to get in sync. The run game balances out the passing game. So they need to get Breece Hall going. Okay, they need to protect Aaron Rodgers. Okay, you can't have all these penalties. You can't have Rodgers getting hit. He's 40 years old, bro. Okay, the most important thing to a 40-year-old quarterback is protection, not neglection. Okay, protect that man, get Breece Hall going, and this team should be better. But right now, there is a level of concern. And one more point that I want to make before I send it back to Will to respond is when you look at that same Tampa Bay team that I mentioned, it goes beyond Rodgers, right? You look at ownership as well. And I get it. You sign Aaron Rodgers, you have to tailor the team to his needs, just like how Tampa Bay did with Brady, when Brady was basically the de facto GM, if you ask me. So, Rodgers came in here, he signed his boys, Randall Cobb, Alan Lazard. Lazard is playing well, but then you hire your boy, Nathaniel Hackett, and this guy cannot call plays. This guy's not a good play caller, with all due respect. So even if this team figures out a level of balance to try to win some games and look functionable on offense, they will always be capped because of who's calling the plays and, quite frankly, who the head coach is. Will, the mic is yours.
I think he's frozen. Listen, I think it's, like I said, it's beyond the play calling. It's the player execution. I think that's the primary thing is player execution. We could talk about player. We could have spoken about the play calling last season, right? This year we got Rodgers. It's a different story. It's not the play calling. It's literally player execution, attention to detail. Those are the things that need to happen. These players are not doing what they need to do, and it's point blank. Period. We can talk about hacking until we're blue in the face, but these players are not doing what they need to do. It's just as simple as that. I remember when we talked about the Falcons, we blamed Arthur Smith for the issues with Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson. Raheem, damn, I forget his name. I forgot his last name.
Raheem Morris.
Thank you. I was about to say Mostert. Raheem Morris, the new head coach over there, same issues with Bijan Robinson and Kyle Pitts, right? It's nothing changed. These guys are still humongous problems to their team, and these guys have to figure it out and figure it out quickly.
All right, Will, you want to respond to that? You good?
Well, listen, the season hangs in the balance right now for these Jets. They're 2-2. You could be talking about a 3-1 team, but last week is over with. Now you got to go to London, and you got to see a former Jet, Sam Darnold, who's having himself a career year at this point in time, albeit it's only 4 games. But he looks like he's revitalized himself, and you got to play in London. Then you got to fly back to MetLife to play up against the Bills. And the Bills, even though they lost on Sunday night to the Ravens, they are head above heels, the class of the AFC East right now, no doubt. And then after that, you got to go up against the Pittsburgh Steelers on Sunday Night Football in Pittsburgh, in which the Jets never play well at Heinz Field or whatever they want to call it now. It's really you could see a lot of frustration building up within the Jet fan base right now, no doubt. But at the same point in time, listen, it's week 5, okay? If they go out there and they win 2 out of the next 3 and they're 4-3, they're still in a good spot. But if they lose these next 3 games, Robert Saleh's got to go. Saleh's got to go. You can't blow this season right now, within 8 weeks of the year. There is no way that Robert Saleh stays as the head coach of the New York Jets if these Jets go 2-5 by the time they play up against New England at the end of October. So, players got to play. Sure, I hear that, but you got to come prepared, and that really comes at the expense of the coaching staff. And you're seeing it right now with the way how Aaron Rodgers and Robert Saleh are going back and forth with their words. So this is really on the staff right now at this point in time to try and make things happen. But I also said too that in a way, you're right. You have to execute, and that's something that the Jets, they don't do. They always go out there, they get the home run hitters or the big names, but they can never execute. So I hear that, I understand that, but right now, 13 penalties, trying to get other things going on. This is on the coaching staff. This is, and you can't go 2-5 going into that New England game. But we're looking at London right now at this point in time. Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, I got a tall task in London. You're talking about Brian Flores, and his defense. A lot of quarterbacks have been struggling. I believe every quarterback has been struggling against that test. And we know how Vance Joseph was able to dial up the blitz, to get Rodgers off his game, to get him off his spot. Brian Flores is only going to amp that up because there's nobody that loved the blitz more than Brian Flores. So I'm not going to lie. It's going to be looking like a tough game for y'all.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They got to be prepared. And, so far through these first 4 weeks, San Francisco, they weren't prepared in San Francisco. Tennessee, they were so close to losing that game in Tennessee. And the only game that was really eye-opening was the Patriot game. But let's be honest, the Patriots are bad. So having said that now, Denver, you got Sean Payton being over there, Super Bowl head coach. Of course, he's going to have his team prepared. But regardless right now, Robert Saleh is not looking like a head coach. He's not. And if they cannot come prepared to play in London, I don't know what's going to happen on that plane ride home. I don't know.
Yeah, he might not make it on the plane ride. Robert Saleh, he might have to find his way home. Think about it. Like last year, the reason why he kept his job based on, what people felt, right, was because Rodgers got hurt 4 plays into the season. So it was kind of like, okay, we're going to allow him to get off the hook. But now that you're barking up the wrong tree, you're barking up with Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers is calling you out. You calling him out. That's not a tree that you want to bark up because that is the quarterback that the Jets went all in for and is committed to potentially beyond this year. So we'll see what happens with Robert Saleh.
Please like and subscribe for all the up-to-date content. You've been slinging shows left and right, slinging content left and right. Please don't miss anything. If you do, like, subscribe, leave a comment, or leave a question, something you may want to answer, something you may have. All ideas are great ideas. Nothing's a dumb question.